Welcome to the Therapy Show. I'm Lisa Mustard, your host and guide on this journey of learning and professional growth. Here, we transform the way you earn continuing education contact hours. Whether you're on a walk, on a break in between sessions, commuting, or even preparing dinner, you can engage with cutting-edge insights from leading subject matter experts. Each episode features conversations with seasoned professionals who share effective techniques and tools tailored for busy therapists like you. Our goal is to enrich your practice and fit seamlessly into your active life, ensuring you stay informed and inspired without the hassle of traditional methods. You can say goodbye to sitting in front of a computer screen watching hours and hours of recorded trainings. Instead, we make continuing education as easy and accessible as your favorite podcast. So make sure to visit the website, lisamustard.com, to sign up for our continuing education membership. It's a fantastic way to earn your credits while enjoying the podcast. Join us on the Therapy Show, where your professional development continues wherever you are.
Please note that the content provided in this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional mental health care, diagnose, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your own licensed mental health provider or medical professional regarding your specific situation. While I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and my guests are also professional counselors, the discussions in this podcast are meant to offer general insights and should not be taken as personalized therapeutic advice. Listening to this podcast does not establish a therapist-client relationship with me or any of my guests. If you are experiencing a mental health crisis or have thoughts of harming yourself or others, please contact a mental health professional, call 911, or go to the nearest emergency room immediately. You can also reach out to a crisis hotline such as the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988 in the United States for immediate support. Every individual's journey is unique, and what works for one person may not be suitable for another, so please use discretion and seek appropriate care as needed.
Well, hey, friends, welcome back to another episode of the Therapy Show. I'm your host, Lisa Mustard, and I'm so excited and happy to be back with you all today. I took last week off for a couple days of spring break with our family and had such a great time visiting my mom and my stepdad up in Richmond, Virginia. We were there for just a handful of days and had a great time. One of the highlights of our trip was seeing the Frida Kahlo exhibit at the Virginia Museum of Fine Art, and I highly recommend it if you are in the area. I think the exhibit is there through the summer, so definitely check it out if you are in the Richmond area. But today I want to talk about something that I hear a lot, and I actually talked about it a little bit on the last episode that came out 2 weeks ago, but the idea of how people, my clients, just everywhere I'm hearing that people just can't deal with the news anymore. I feel like it's something that comes up in conversation, whether it be with family, friends, clients, just out there in the world. And I honestly, I get it. I totally get it because the headlines are constant and the tone is always urgent and everything feels like a crisis right now. So naturally, a lot of us are thinking, well, what if I just tune it all out? Here's the thing about that: tuning out completely might feel like relief in the moment, but it also means tuning out from the opportunity to build resilience, understand what this moment is trying to teach us, and grow into deeper versions of ourselves. So, I want to talk about this: why avoiding the news isn't actually the solution, and what's happening in your brain and body when you're overwhelmed. And most importantly, how to create a healthier, more meaningful relationship with the world around you, one that builds emotional strength instead of emotional shutdown. So, let's get into it. Let's start with some empathy. If you felt like you can't look at the news without your chest tightening or your thoughts spiraling, you are not alone. Because we're living in an age of nonstop urgency, crisis after crisis, conflict after conflict. And it's natural to want to escape it, to scroll past it, mute it, block it, log off. That's a nervous system response. It's a form of self protection. But while tuning out might feel like self care in the moment, it can quietly lead to disconnection from our values, our sense of purpose, and even from our own growth. And avoiding the news altogether might bring a quick sigh of relief, but it also disconnects us from reality, from understanding what's happening around us, from engaging with the issues that actually matter to us. And here's the deeper truth: when we avoid stress, we also avoid the growth that can come from facing it with intention. Every hard thing we choose to face builds our resilience. It teaches us something about who we are, what we care about, and how we want to move through the world. Avoidance blocks all of that, and it often leaves us feeling more helpless. So, what's going on in our brain and body? Let's take a moment to talk science. When we're bombarded with stressful or emotionally charged information, our brain goes into a survival response. The amygdala lights up, our body gets ready for fight, flight, or freeze. And that's why constant exposure to breaking news, emotionally charged headlines, or aggressive commentary doesn't just make us stressed, it makes us dysregulated. And then we either stay glued to it, trying to regain a sense of control, or we shut it down and disengage. And neither of those actually help us process, reflect, or move forward with clarity. So here's the reframe: the goal isn't total withdrawal. The goal is intentional engagement. You get to choose how you interact with information. You get to decide when, how, and how much. You get to be a person who cares deeply and also protects their peace. And when you do that with awareness, when you choose engagement that aligns with your values, you're not just coping, you're growing. You're building a kind of strength that stays with you even when things are hard. That's what resilience really is. So, what do we do instead of avoiding everything? Here are a few tools you can try right now, and these are pulled directly from my Coping with Political Stress and Anxiety ebook workbook. So, number one, set a media window. Decide when and for how long you'll check the news. Morning only, 15 minutes over coffee. Great, because that boundary matters. So, you got to stick with it. Number two, you can choose calm sources. Not all media are created equal. I mean, you know that. I know that. Find the ones that give you facts without panic. Trust, not trauma. Use bookends. So ground yourself before and after consuming the news. Breathe, stretch, listen to something calming. This helps your body regulate. I like to use a walk. I like to go outside, breathe in fresh air. Those are some of my bookends. Reflect after reading. Ask yourself, how did that make you feel? What do I want to do with that information? Is there a deeper value or insight it connects to? And then lastly, curate your input. You're allowed to unfollow, mute, and limit voices that leave you drained. This is your mental space, and you want it to feel supportive, not suffocating. I can't tell you how many people I have unfollowed on social media. I still stay friends with them, but unfollowing them, I find that I can't read opinions of people who I don't necessarily know that well, and so I just unfollow. If it doesn't fit with my values, I click unfollow. That's just me. That's how I do it. So if any of this is resonating, I created something to support you even further. My Coping with Political Stress ebook workbook is a 62-page digital guide filled with reflective prompts, grounding practices, and space to work through all of this. From emotional overwhelm to values clarification, it's all inside this workbook. And it's more than just a workbook, it's a way to pause, process, and reclaim a sense of meaning in a world that often feels chaotic. So you can download it instantly and start working through it at your own pace. Just click the link in the show notes if you want to check it out. So here's the final takeaway: you don't have to choose between caring and coping. You can care deeply and still stay regulated. You can feel overwhelmed and still find clarity. You can face discomfort and come out of it stronger, wiser, and more rooted in who you are. This is your invitation to stop running from the noise and instead learn how to walk through it with intention. Thank you so much for being here. If this episode helped you at all, please share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to grab that ebook workbook if you want to go deeper. Until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep on growing.